We go. Hello, everyone out there in TV land. Welcome, welcome to Something Suddenly Came Up, a retro review. It sounded like I was about to do the ad for Vitamina Benjamin, right? Hello out there. Sorry, I took a side note. But as you guys know, I'm Leanne. This is my big sis, known as the Groovy Granny. And we talk about all things 60s, 70s, 80s. Here's Des chilling in the background. Everything pop culture. And as you know from that reference, and a little bit of 50s, apparently.
Yes.
So tell what we're talking about today, Groovy Granny.
Well, today we're going to jump into the 80s and we're going to put our colorful stuff on and maybe
Yes.
some leg warmers and
Oh, everything was so good then, bigger and better. Oh man.
so we're going to kind of deep dive into some
Yeah.
fashion trends of the
Yeah.
1980s.
Yeah.
And boy, is there a lot of them.
Oh, I can't even do five. I did five, but they ended up kind of being a five subjects that had little
Yeah,
subsets.
I did five, but I have a lot on my,
Boy, was it a time of some really specific
yes,
trends.
yes.
Wow. Okay, so what's your number five?
Well, my number five is legs pantyhose.
Oh,
Do you remember those?
nothing beats a great pair of legs. And I
Yes,
remember all the famous celebrities, including Miss Joyce DeWitt from Three's Company, was on the Nothing Beats a Great Pair of Legs commercial.
including Joe Namath.
No, that's true. That's an interesting one that
Now, the
yeah.
reason legs are in for me in the 80s, because I think they
Okay,
were
yeah.
around in the 70s as
Right,
well, maybe
right,
even 60s,
right,
is because that was when I began working in an office.
right.
And
Oh,
so
and
we
just say
wore
this.
pantyhose back then,
Yes, that's
believe
what I
it
was
or
going
not.
to say. For people who are like, what does this mean? They're
Yeah.
pantyhose that came in a little egg,
Mhm.
kind of. So you like took it apart as plastic. Your pantyhose were in there, but that egg was inside of this cardboard caddy with the top on it, right?
Yes. And they always had their own little like kiosk thing in like
Yeah,
People's Drug or
yeah.
Kmart or whatever. And they were
Uh-huh.
very cheap.
They
But
were.
for me, they lasted more than the expensive pantyhose did.
Yeah.
And there was absolutely no what do you call
Running.
it?
They didn't run.
Well, they didn't run, but there was, I think part of the reason why they didn't run is there was no what do they all have now for anybody that ever wears them? You know, where they suck you in.
Oh, yeah. It didn't have the oh my gosh, the top like the Spanx. It didn't have like the
Yeah, it
control top. Although they did
control.
eventually, didn't
I
they?
think
Came with
later
the control
on they
top.
got
Yeah.
control top, but
Yeah.
you know how also all pantyhose later on had that kind of shiny look to them because they all had a
Yeah.
little bit of spandex or
Right,
something.
right, right,
This
right.
had none.
Yeah.
It
It was
was
literally just
strictly,
a covering for your legs that made it just look
yeah.
polished, a little tan, maybe.
And I felt they were so much better because they were lightweight and you
Mhm,
didn't really feel like you were wearing them as much as when you put those tight suckers on.
mhm, mhm.
Yeah, they were very unique because of their packaging and they were very cheap, which was a great thing.
And their ads were just through the roof. Every time that you turned around, especially when the soap operas run, I don't remember the pitch of the song, but it was Nothing Beats a Great Pair of Legs. And there's
That's
like
right.
some actress on there. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I
I
should have
don't
looked
their
into
name.
what
Yeah.
actresses did it or
I'm
what
pretty sure that
models.
Joyce DeWitt from Three's Company, and I just want to point out everybody always thinks of Suzanne Summers as being the kind of pretty one or the hot one, but Joyce DeWitt was very pretty.
Yeah.
And I definitely, guys, check me on this. I feel like I saw her on the legs commercial for the hose,
She
the
might have
pantyhose.
been. She might
Yeah.
have been. And I
And
think there
she's
was
a
a
cute
couple
figure.
supermodels who did them too, but
Yeah, yeah.
um
Didn't they have the famous dancer Juliet Prowse do their ads
yes.
for a while? She's got
Yes.
legs from the ears to the ground. I mean, she's got the
Yes.
longest legs ever.
You're
You guys
right.
might remember her in GI Blues with Elvis. Juliet Prowse
Yes.
is her name. She's a redhead.
Was she also in Lily?
She may have been with it was
Yeah,
Fred
and
Astaire.
all and in one with, Gene Kelly too. Was that
Yeah.
Gigi? No,
No,
that
that's
was
Leslie
Leslie
Caron. I'm
Caron.
pretty sure. But
Julie,
Juliet Prowse was in GI Blues for sure. She's the
okay.
tallest drink of water, the longest legs. She's a
Yes.
dancer.
Yes.
But yeah, legs. That's good 80s. Probably a little bit before the 80s, but yeah, wow. That,
Yeah.
yes,
For
I
me,
remember that.
during my working years, they were crucial.
I bet. Um, my number five is a very specific part of a bigger trend, but there was a time when Madonna first came out when I would have
Mm.
been in junior high school. She did like Lucky Star, and she would wear these almost looked a little punk rock. She had like the black half leggings with the kind of almost combat boots, a little flared skirt. She would have a tie-up bow here
Mhm.
and an armload of those rubber black bracelets. He
Yes.
eventually did different colors, but there are girls out there now, like I had 800 of them. But they were rubber black bracelets, real cheap to get. And like I said, they went on to do the neon colors and stuff too. But dressing like that era of Madonna when she first came out, everybody look up the video Lucky Star. That kind of look was so popular when I was
It
in junior
was.
high. But those rubber bracelets kind of transcended the different trends. All the girls had, they just look like literally a rubber hoop that you put your arm through. And some of the girls had a ton of them at a time.
Yes.
But boy, those rubber bracelets going into that Madonna Lucky Star kind of look trend with a kind of a bob length permy hair was such a big deal. But my number five, those rubber
I
bracelets.
remember those so well. Now, was it those bracelets where a controversy occurred? I feel like it was a bracelet after that where like they were trying to portray that with each one meant you had done something you probably shouldn't have.
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't feel like
I
that
think
was
that
the
was
thing.
bracelets later on that I'm
Okay.
thinking of.
I was gonna say I don't think so. I don't remember that being a thing because I remember
I
all the
totally
girls
remember
wore them.
those though. Yeah.
Yeah, they were such a specific trend. I
Yeah,
remember,
she would have just a full arm
yeah,
of them.
yeah, yeah. Hmm.
She was a very stylish trend person that
She
people
had
followed.
different styles throughout the 80s. I remember
Yeah.
that Papa Don't Preach era where she had that pixie cut, that very
Mhm.
short cut. Over the years, I mean, she's had all sorts of looks, but that's my 80s Madonna
Yeah.
impression that I really remember. She did a kind of Marilyn Monroe thing at some point, but that first glimpse of her in Lucky Star, she was so
Mhm.
different from anything we'd seen before.
You're right. You're right. And then
That
she was in
really
that
took off.
movie Desperately Seeking Susan where she was
Yes.
very much dressed that way.
And still that look, yes,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly. And it really didn't start off being super sexy and provocative. It was just different. It was
Yeah.
a little funky. It wasn't, later she became very provocatively dressed, but I don't
Right.
think that first look was. And it also debuted those mesh tops. Now, we in those days didn't just wear a bra underneath. Like you might see girls today doing something like that, but no, you put like a tank underneath or something,
Mhm.
but it would be a little mesh crop shirt over the top. Even the guys did it, especially the guys that went more towards pump. Sleeveless mesh, like very much see through, but you put different things under it. But
Yeah,
that whole look was so big. The Madonna Lucky
definitely.
Star, but those rubber bracelets, that's my number five.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
So my number 4 is Swatch watches.
Oh, girl. I had a
So I
pretty
think
one.
they just made a they may have made a what is the word?
Retro.
A reappearance,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
guess.
yeah.
It
A
recently.
renaissance, if you will.
Yeah. I almost said resurrection, and I guess that could be right, but probably not appropriate. But it was the rage. I think that was more the early 80s. But I know I was like kind of still entering the working
I was
world.
in junior high school, so that would
Okay.
have been 83, 84, somewhere in
Okay.
there.
So I
Yeah.
was early 20s.
Mhm.
Yeah. Um and I remember I had a white one. And
Oh,
the white one was kind of like, I guess, boring compared to a lot of the other ones because there was some crazy stuff on them.
I
They
had a
were so
beautiful
cool.
one. It was purple, and then the face of it was black lace. Yeah,
Oh,
it was real pretty. I
did
got
you
it for
keep it?
Christmas. I don't think I might, on that one, I might have that one upstairs. Mom kept a couple of my things. She kept my original Snoopy watch from when I was real
Oh,
little.
yeah.
And then a bunch of pins and things from elementary school, but I might have it. But it was real, like I'd wear it today if I had it. It's like
Yeah.
a dark purple, and the face is black lace. Boy, was it pretty.
They were so cool
Real
because
cool.
you could almost be like, well, not with my white one, but they were so unique and different that you could almost like it was made just you're the only one that had that particular thing.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure that's not the case, but because there was so many different patterns and colors, and you felt like it was sort of a statement about yourself in a way, you know?
It did, and you never. I'm trying to think if I ever saw anybody at school with the same one on that I picked. I don't think so, but I'm sure
Yeah.
mine came from like Heck Company or something. So I'm sure it
Yeah.
was one of a kind. But you're right, there was a lot. It was also very much a time. Now it's been, and no disrespect to anyone, but appropriated in a different way. But in the 80's, rainbows were everywhere. Like, or
Yes.
like rainbow shirts, and everything was rainbows, like a certain time period, like when I was in fifth and sixth grade. So a lot of the Swatch watches had like rainbow themes, and it
Yeah,
didn't
you're
mean
right.
anything other than just rainbows,
Right. And
so
then even they started to have like, little things on them like flowers or
right,
not
right.
like a Crocs thing, not that was 3D, but just, you know,
Yeah, in the face of the watch. That
pattern.
was the
Yeah.
print. Like you could have Snoop, not a Swatch watch, but we had Snoopy watches and Mickey Mouse
Yeah.
things. And the Swatch watch was just that next level of being a little mod and cool.
Yeah.
It was
Look them
definitely,
up, you guys, because they're really
yeah.
cool. I carried mine around for such a long time,
I wish I
and
still
then I
had
think I
mine.
stuffed it in a Goodwill bag.
I
I
know. Yeah.
you sometimes you could just kick yourself, you
What was
know?
the face of yours like? The band was white. So they're plastic bands, you guys.
Yes,
Um,
they were sort of like the, um the iPhone watch
yeah,
bands.
yeah,
They
yeah.
kind of reminded
Yeah.
me of that a little bit. They were a
Yeah.
little bit stiffer, like they
Mm-hmm.
held more
Mm-hmm. And then the
tight than
face
that.
had some kind of print or some
I
kind of
can't remember the face of mine.
yeah. It
I
must
think
have
I
had some.
went really neutral.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know why.
They were super popular though. And boys, girls, everybody wore them.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Hmm.
definitely.
Interesting. I didn't know you had one of those. My number four, we have touched on before, and I'm kind of putting the trends together. But in everything in the 80's, there were shoulder pads.
Oh,
And as
yes.
we've talked about in past episodes, particularly when we were talking about Dynasty, um,
Mhm.
shoulder pads were inside sweaters. Like
Yes.
the sweatshirt I'm wearing may have, at the time, they may have put some small little shoulder pads, but
Yes.
blazers had shoulder pads. Everything,
Football shoulder pads in
blouses.
some of them.
Yes, yes. But in a way, it was so indicative of the 80's because everything was very a little bit larger than life. So
Yes.
anything that was like a normal little trend, it kind of went up. So shoulder pads were in everything. And along with that, I kind of went together. It made me think of what was my next thing. They put them in blazers, and a lot of things in the 80's were also color blocked, right?
Mhm.
Big, strong colors of like if you had a blazer that had black, it also had royal blue and white. There was
Mhm.
a lot of color blocking with those big, strong shoulder pads in them, and a lot of dresses with asymmetry and color blocking with those big pads. Do you
What was the
recall that?
name of that store? I believe it was in Montgomery Mall for us, and it was nothing but that colorful stuff. Was it
Oh,
like Benetton? Was that
yes,
Benetton?
yes, because their little spiel was the United Colors of Benetton, and they would have
Yes, that
models
was
that
even in the
yes,
title, wasn't it? Yeah.
yes, yes, they would have models from all over the world in their promotions. But yeah, a lot of bright, bold colors, a lot of the little polo type shirts or the rugby
Mhm.
type shirts and the sweaters with a lot of colorful prints, not prints, but color blocking
Yeah,
or
yeah.
strong
Were
colors. Yeah.
solid,
So,
strong colors, and
mhm,
layering of them was
yeah.
like a big thing.
Yes, 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 for sure, for sure.
Yeah, Benetton. I
But
remember walking past that in
yes,
the mall. It was
yes,
very colorful and bright.
yes, yes.
Oh my gosh,
But
my work blazers were like
yeah, oh my gosh. I definitely I think it's my senior picture. I have this cute little like cross-breasted but short little blazer, but the pads are like because I already have fairly broad shoulders, and they were like I looked like hello. I looked like Herman Munster.
I
You know
also
how Brett
oh,
Gwynn
yeah, he's like
says.
I also remember you had a leather jacket with some
Oh,
very big
girl.
shoulder pads.
Yes, and my vegan friends turn away. I had a leather jacket, but everybody in the 80's did. It came from Express, and it looked like a motorcycle jacket, only cropped with a
Yes.
belt at the cropping. It was cute, but shoulder pads. Oh my
Shoulder
gosh.
pads out the wazoo, yeah, but it was cute
Mhm.
on you. You
Yeah,
could
I was gonna say, I
you're very trendy.
I feel like the shoulder pads kind of leveled up your outfit. It kind of looked like, and then like we said, we usually talk about them in reference to Dynasty because Joan Collins and Crystal Carrington, who is she? Linda Evans, always
Yes.
had, but Joan Collins, she will come in with shoulder pads to here, and yeah, oh my gosh, all of her things,
There's
right?
a hilarious scene in the movie Overboard, which I know we've discussed that movie before,
Yes.
where she's trying to walk through the door and she has to go like this
Yeah,
to get her
yes.
shoulder pad in.
Yeah, but it has, here's the word I think I was looking for. It has an assertive way about it too, right? Joan
Yeah.
Collins made those shoulder pads like, I'm here to do battle.
Well, honestly, that the 80's were a time where women were sort of
Mhm.
taking a little bit more control and
Mhm.
power, particularly in the
Yeah,
business world.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I think that reflected that for
yeah.
sure.
I think so too. I think so too.
Yeah, you can't not have shoulder pads on an 80's list.
You really cannot. Nope. All right, what's yours?
Well,
I guess,
my number 3 takes a little bit of explanation, and I'm not even
okay.
really sure how to go about it. I
Oh
had
gosh.
one. I had one.
Okay.
There was a trend for a little while in the 80's of this very puffy, ruffled blouse that and most of them would, like, button across and down,
Uh-huh.
and a big do you remember mine by any chance? Like
I do remember it. It has a bit of a, like, if you watch Purple Rain with Prince, Prince always has the fluffy, but even the people in the Revolution, Prince's band, it has like, it has a bib that crosses and either
yes.
buttons up here. I had it too. It buttons up here or snaps here.
Yeah, but then kind
But
of
then,
buttons down. I
whoa,
think mine went like this and then buttoned down,
yes,
and it was the
yes.
puffy shoulder and then ruffles along the bodice and usually at your neck too.
A place called the Limited, which some of you may remember, they called it a poet's blouse.
Oh,
So
okay.
not that exact one to me felt more like a Revolutionary War like kind of uniform, but the poet's blouse had the fluff here too. Know what I mean?
Okay. See,
But
I
I
could
don't think
see
that's
this
the same thing as what you're talking about. You guys, it almost does like an old school dentist, right? Like an old school dentist
kind
has
of,
the
yes,
snaps across
but with
here.
like ruffles with it. I
Right.
think of it more like an English countryside type blouse.
Yes, that's what
Like
made me
you would
say the
wear it with a wool
Revolutionary part.
skirt, you know?
Yes, it was cute. It
It
was
was
cute.
really cute, and it was such a big trend, but we used to wear them with our,
Yeah.
jeans.
You know what I thought you were going to say, and I hope I'm not hijacking anything, but those dresses that were very floral, I think they were called gunny sacks
Gunny
and
sacks,
Laura
yeah.
Ashley too. In the
Mhm.
80's, we had this weird trend where everything was over the top, but we even took like Little House on the Prairie over the top.
Oh,
It was like,
yes.
right? It looked like these throwbacks to like Laura Ingalls Wilder, except big shoulders and
Yes.
big fluff and big bow. Right? But they were
Uh,
so popular.
there was, an episode of The Brady Bunch, I think we talked about it, where they're singing that song where they're like the girls are wearing these gunny sack look kind of
Right,
dresses.
right.
And I said that Marsha looked very uncomfortable in hers because it was all like up
Like
in here.
Sunshine Day.
She's
No, it's
trying
not
to
that song.
sing and dance and
Mhm. Well, the 70's I feel like had those granny dresses, like Tweety Bird's granny, but
yeah,
in the girlish prints. But then the 80's took it next
the
level.
next level.
Then
Yeah.
the sleeves came up and the hemlines were a little bit asymmetrical. There's different things happening, but extremely like floral. That's a trend that never came back, those gunny sack dresses.
No.
Like
Well,
Laura Ashley. Did you see them again?
the 70s ones didn't come back into the stores, but they were the rage at the thrift stores.
Oh,
All the high
interesting.
school girls were going and buying them from the thrift stores and wearing to them to their dances.
But those were different.
You're
Those
right. Those
were
were
a
the
little
more 70s
streamlined.
ones. Mhm.
The 80's version, very much, I don't even know how to describe it. It really is like taking a Little House on the Prairie print, putting the shoulder pads in, making the sleeves bigger. Everything was still a little bigger, right? It just and a
Yes.
lot of girls wore them like as there were bridesmaids dresses that very much had that vibe, right? Like
Dear
the
Lord, my
floral
wedding dress.
and floor and the big thing. Yeah, no, it's very much a thing, right? It was
Yeah,
very much a thing.
like Princess Diana's wedding
Yeah,
dress.
yeah.
A
You know what?
very
You know what I heard, and I'm not sure if this is accurate, so someone can look it up. But that Princess Diana was such a fan of Dynasty's Joan Collins, the outfits she wore, which were by Nolan Miller, by the way, that if Joan Collins showed up in something, you would see Princess Diana a couple weeks later in something similar
I
because
believe
she would
it.
have it made.
She could
And
do what
she
she
loved
wanted
it.
to
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
Yeah. And anyway, I think that's so interesting. That was a side note to all the shoulder
Well,
pads and
I'm glad you understood what shirt I was talking about
yes,
because
look
they
up
were
the
very popular.
Revolution, Prince's backup singers. Now, Prince, of course, had the big
Yeah.
cravat and the ruffles, but the backup singers, it's like I always
Okay.
say there's like a flap, right? Anyway, I think it reminds me of the Prince and the Revolution, basically
Yeah.
the blouses you're talking
I
about.
could see what you're saying. Yeah.
But
Oh,
anyway,
I'm
very
glad you knew.
I knew exactly what you meant because I could picture myself. I had a red, I think it was red, and it kind of like flapped over and it buttoned here and down a little.
Yeah.
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 Oh my gosh. But that's a cool look. That should come back. I feel like that's a little bit of a
That should
cool
come
look.
back because for a while, like boho and prairie and
Yeah.
even hippie vibes were so popular just a year ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would
But the
I would
80's took them to that next level. I think
took
that's
it
the
to that next
problem.
level.
I
Yeah.
think in a way that's why it's hard to bring some of the 80's looks back because they just took
Yeah.
it to that next
Yeah.
level.
Yeah.
I say that with a smile, of course, but um, okay, so my number three is 80's workout wear because it really did leave the gym and kind of go out a little
Yes,
bit.
indeed it
So
did.
we talk about it all the time, but the leotard over those little half tights, the Reebok high tops with the scrunchy socks,
Yes.
that shiny lycra with the pinch front, the sweatbands, I mean, oh my gosh. And there were like some one piece ones too that lately the girls are coming back into those the full bodysuit. But
Mhm.
these went just past the knees and up with the straps, right? And that kind of carried over to some of the although disco's more 70's, but it has a little bit of a disco vibe. It was very shiny. And then it carried into those pants that were also extremely shiny. So you saw the angels in them sometimes if they were doing
Yes.
like roller disco or
Cheryl Ladd had a
yes,
pair on.
yes,
Yeah.
you can only wear them. Just let
Yes.
Cheryl Ladd wear them. Everybody else, we're gonna
Yeah.
step back on this one. But what a specific look the 80's
Yes.
workout wear. Oh my gosh. Leotard always and color blocked, bright colors, everything just over the top. Like now, although we have our yoga pants and stuff, you could kind of show up into the gym in a pair of sweats. You could there is workout wear that's a lot of the girls, gosh, they wear just sports bras nowadays and shorts.
Right.
But that 80's wear was just a trend, a fashion trend. If you see Olivia Newton-John in that physical video,
Yeah. That's a good analogy
oh
there.
my gosh, such a specific look. Go back and look at Jane Fonda in those early videos of hers,
Mhm.
the Firm Girls on those early videos. Denise Austin, my girl, those very early workout videos. There is very specific color blocking and very intentional styling. And that went out into Bally's and those places where people were
Yeah.
going to do aerobics for sure. And went out into the street because if you look at episodes of the Golden Girls too, they kind of make fun of it, but they would wear those windbreakery jogging suits too. That
Yes,
was the thing, right?
yes,
And they're very color blocked, very bright, and very specifically 80s.
yes. It reminds me too of that Designing Women episode where they go to this fitness health spa or whatever, and everybody but them is wearing those kind of clothes.
I can picture that. I can picture that. Oh gosh. But what a very, very specific look, right? That 80s
Yes,
workout look is
yes,
so specific
definitely.
and so fun.
Yeah, I
Leg
mean,
warmers. I don't know if I said leg warmers. Don't forget those. And
there's
the
an
belt. And some of them with a not a workout belt, y'all, and not a waist trainer like you see the girls. I mean, a little belt with a big
yeah,
buckle.
and it usually had that kind of buckle that would you would clip it in like you would like it's like two pieces and you'd put it together and snap it closed.
Yes,
It
sometimes
wasn't like
that's
the
right.
belt that you
Yeah,
put
yeah,
like in
yeah.
the little loop.
Yeah. And
It
it
was
wasn't necessarily like to keep your back safe and
no,
quick.
no.
No, it was
It was
just
just
for,
for style.
yeah. I think we were talking about an episode of Dallas even where Linda Gray was wearing a one-piece bathing suit at the pool
Yes.
and had the belt over the top.
There was also a couple of seasons where Victoria Principal owned a fitness center in Dallas,
Why wouldn't
and
she?
she wore all those
Oh,
clothes
they're
for sure.
so fun. Such a fun time. Oh
Yes.
my gosh. Mary Lou Hinner had a workout video. And I think that might have been 1990 actually, but she has the cutest like little workout clothes on and the color blocking and the matching. Oh my God.
Yes.
But that is
But
such a trend.
even like in like the sweaters and stuff, that colorful color blocking, and then people would do the long sweaters with the shoulder pads with like those colorful workout
The
pants.
leggings, yeah. And the Reeboks with the scrunchy
Yes.
socks. Yeah, that
Yes.
was very much a thing. Very much a thing. Oh
Well,
my
this is a
gosh.
good segue for my number two
Okay,
because
good.
I didn't do the colorful leggings, but
Hmm.
what I wore, okay, I'm embarrassed, stirrup pants.
Oh, we all did. Cheryl, don't be sad about that. We all did.
I wore my stirrup pants with my slouch socks and my Reebok high top aerobic shoes everywhere.
For those
Usually,
of you at home, like, what are we talking about? They're literally leggings with elastic under the foot. Like, picture literally like if you ride a horse. And
yes.
I, for whatever reason, I love leggings, but stirrup pants, I felt like they're always pulling my pants down. Am I wrong? By the time you get the socks over them and in your tall shoes, you're kind of like, maybe it's just me.
Well, I see what you mean. You must
Oh,
have a what do you call that?
I have a
Your
long
rise
form.
must be different. Yeah.
I don't know, but and a lot of times they would try to make them look just a bit like jodhpurs, I think is the
Yeah,
word.
I didn't like
Jodhpurs.
those.
And they would put a crease down, not a crease because they're cotton, but a little
Yeah.
line down the front, a seam.
Yeah.
But
Or
yeah, we
even they would put that little bit of thing on the sides. Like who wants that?
little saddlebags, like actual.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
those stirrup pants. I don't miss those. Did you like them
I
though?
I loved them. They
Yeah,
were
they were
everything to me.
popular.
Yeah.
I can feel myself putting a pair on. I did have a cute outfit with stirrups that it was white, and then I had this white cropped little. It's not a turtleneck. It's like a little half neck sweater. It was cute together,
Yeah. I
but I can
really
picture
loved
being like, "Ooh."
I would have I would have one of those shoulder pad color block sweaters that were longer and my
Yeah,
stirrup pants underneath and my slouch socks
you
and
had to.
rope
You
shoes.
had to. It was yes,
That
stirrup
was me
pants.
for a good portion of the 80s.
Yeah, yeah, stirrup pants,
When they
100%.
went out of style, I was tearful.
And honestly, you guys, you're welcome, America, because I feel like we started the leggings. We
Yes,
definitely
we
started
did.
the leggings.
Yes.
But when the leggings first came out, nowadays they have more of a stretch to them. It
Much.
really was almost like wearing no pants. You had to wear a long sweater with them.
Yeah. And if you were getting a little bit too large for your stirrup pants, if they were more of the legging tight stirrup pants, you were gonna shown through.
Yes, it was. There was no extra room.
No, no
They were,
forgiveness
yeah,
whatsoever.
yes, yes. But cute trend. Yeah, the stirrup
Yes,
fan.
definitely.
Okay, so my number, what I'm on number two. My number two, oh my gosh. We all bought the magazine, 17, Young Miss, all those things because, and then all of the, of course, grown-up magazines, Cosmo and Glamour and all of those, because the 80s had colorful makeup like no other.
Yes.
You would buy an eyeshadow kit and it had here goes on the lid, this goes on the brow bone, and then a dark color that went through the center. This was not let's look natural. This was like blacks and blues and hot pink and
Green.
green, yellow. I mean, now if you're really good with makeup, you know a little pop of those things you can do,
Right.
of course.
Right.
But this was like colorful. And the blush, it went up into your hairline and it was dark. It
And
was
it was
not,
very distinct too. It wasn't the blending stuff we have
no,
now.
none of this makeup was meant to blend. It
Yeah.
was meant to stand out. And
Yes.
the lips were dark, but then glossy over the top. Bright colors with gloss. I remember like Christian Alfonso, who played Hope on Days of Our Lives. Her
Mm.
makeup was like top notch. It was like, hi, Belle. No, I mean, that is like, I mean, the soaps I feel like typified and the nighttime soaps. Again, you guys look
Yes.
at Dynasty and come back and talk to us. But that makeup on Joan Collins, it was stunning. I mean, at the time we were like gorgeous.
I always say it about Donna Mills. I mean, I used to love the way her face looked
And
in
girl,
all
that is
that
some
makeup.
serious makeup.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Victoria Principal
Oh,
also.
girl.
She was like perfection and all that. But
Yeah.
they were done by a makeup artist. The hard part was the us average gals didn't quite have the skills.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was a little bit
It was the
different.
Wild West out there with the makeup, but it was fun. It was so fun though. Just
Yes.
really nothing about the 80s was meant to blend in. You were meant to stand out. Times were big, times were seemingly really good.
Yes.
Everything was colorful, everything was over the top, and everything was a little bigger. But the makeup, I just loved it. Oh my gosh. Again, watch an old episode. I think Dynasty typifies. Watch Joan Collins walk out with that makeup, and you'll be like, whoa, the
Yes.
blush, the lips, the eyes, just everything about it. And even if you went for a natural look in the 80s, which I don't know why you did, um, the three colors in the natural palette were even like dark brown, darker brown,
Yeah.
darkish brown. I mean, it wasn't like, oh, I want to look like I have no makeup on. That 70s thing with just a little dab will do you, forget it.
I had a hard time with makeup. I could never feel comfortable in foundation, so I never wore that. And I also hated the feel of lipstick, so I could
Yeah.
never get myself to wear lipstick, but I definitely dabbled in the eyeshadow and blush for
Oh,
sure.
girl, I just thought about this. An episode of Designing Women, you could see some 80s makeup for sure.
Oh, yes,
Delta
yes.
Burke and some 80s makeup, beautiful.
Yeah. Well,
I'm
they
not
have
knocking it.
beautiful faces too, and it
Yeah.
just did enhance so much.
But those colors, what, nowadays you go to a makeup artist, I feel like even for a special occasion, and you're like, girl, I want to look natural. And even then it takes her 27 shades and or him. But still, most people are not back then we're like, no, what you got?
Everything now with the makeup artists is like contouring and,
Right, right.
reshaping your face with makeup and,
Right, with natural colors for the
yes.
most part. But
Yeah.
yeah, I loved my 80s makeup and I loved a good fashion magazine because of the makeup a
You were
lot.
actually really good at your makeup from a very young age.
I thank you. I'll just take that and run with it. I'm not sure about that, but I always enjoyed it. I
Well,
think
I
about
thought
it like artistry. It feels like artistry.
yeah, your face is your canvas
Yeah, kind of
for
so.
sure.
Kind of so. Kind of so. All right,
Okay.
so
Well, my number 1, you already said.
oh, sorry.
It That's okay. That I do it to you most of the time. So it was the high top Reeboks. So
Oh,
now what
girl.
I'll do instead is pull from my list of other things that I had.
Well, Di, let's just talk about those high top Reeboks for a
Yeah,
second
easy for you to
because
say.
I know, yeah, exactly. Um, because they were a huge fashion trend. They weren't just in the aerobic centers, which of course they were with the
I
stretch
did wear
socks,
them
like
for
you
that
said.
as well, but
Yes. They were at school. There were only three colors. There was black, white, and red at the time, but white were the across the board what people
I had
were
white.
wearing. And of course, the little British flag. Everybody knows Reebok. But even on the stage at the Emmys, Sybil Shepherd wore them with a beautiful dress because
Yes.
she wanted to be comfortable or she's a foot issue. I don't know. But she parted the slit on this beautiful dress and there were some high top Reeboks. But
And
they were
nowadays she would
everywhere.
be like, she would be accused of being an influencer or something
Oh
like that.
yeah,
She
no,
was
this
paid
was
to
just
do that.
yeah. Yeah, but
But I'm
they
sure
were
that was,
everywhere and everybody had them.
yes, they
Whether
did.
you were like a preppy kid, a punk kid, whatever you were, or a grown up, a kid, whatever, everybody had those high top of a certain age had those high top Reeboks.
And
Sorry,
if I
go ahead.
recall correctly, I had a pair for aerobics and
Mm.
a different pair to wear around
Of the exact same
of
shoe,
the
though. Yeah,
exact same
yeah,
shoe.
yes.
Yes.
They had ties, you guys, and then the ankle had two little Velcro
Yep.
straps, right? Okay,
Yes.
as you were. I just wanted to address the Reeboks because we talked about them, but they were big.
And I always wore them with slouch socks
Yeah.
because most
Oh,
of the
well,
time I had my stirrup pants on. And
yeah.
you know, I loved the stirrup pants and they would have worked inside the Reeboks and not be shown probably, but the
Uh,
worst foul play fashion thing you could do is have any little bit of that arch show. Now, a lot of people wore them with flats.
I was going to say the only time the stirrup could possibly show is if you used ballet flats.
Yes, yes.
Mm.
Otherwise, you wanted it to
Those
kind
slouch
of be,
socks, girl, were the thing. Yeah, for
they
sure.
were, oh, I thought I was everything when I was wearing those.
I think
I just loved it. And I was into fitness at that time. So it I really loved, it was a comfortable feeling, but you looked good.
I'm going to bring back that leotard, I think, at the gym.
Good. Well, the one thing I'm going to let you do your number one first
Okay.
before I say anything from here.
Okay, my number one is something I super miss about the 80s, and that is the big sky high hair. The hair was curly and big. I don't miss the bangs. We did this thing with the bangs where it almost looked like they were smashed in the door. They went up and over. The bangs were kind of like a different thing altogether,
Yeah.
but the hair was bigger and better. And a lot of the girls got perms. And you guys, you think you know big hair, you just don't. It was just big. And then the guys and the girls, you guys, sometimes had mullets. Everybody now knows mullets as being a silly thing, but they were trendy. You had the short sideburns. If you guys look up Sheena Easton, she's this adorable singer from the 80s. She had this cute, short, little curly, and I can only say it's a mullet, but it was very fashionable. The shorter sideburns, the longer back, but still kind of big and curly.
I had one.
Marky Post from Night Court.
Oh, I loved Marky Post. She was so cute.
But right, it was still big.
Yes.
But
I
and
had a mullet, but with my perm. And
yes,
I loved that haircut. It was the cutest,
cute,
easiest
y'all.
haircut. It like they would cut it behind your ear a little bit so that like you weren't having to pull it back. And then you had the little curly back. And then, I would
Big
blow out
top.
my bangs a little bit. It was such an easy, cute hairdo. I could never do it without a perm, not
Yeah,
with this
yeah.
straight
But
hair.
they're like kind of two separate concepts. I lumped them together. But the big hair was sometimes just long, huge, big hair.
Yes. Did
But
you
then
you never had to get perms, right? Because
no,
you had a
because
lot of
not
body.
as much nowadays. But when I was that age, my hair could get curly.
Yes, it
Here's
could.
one for you guys. Aussie This is hard for me to say. Scrunch spray. It's not scrunch. I think it was called scrunch spray.
Oh,
And it smelled like grape. And it was in a purple bottle. But
well,
I would spray that in, and my hair was like huge. And there's that picture of us. I've talked about it on our show
I
before.
wish I could get it on here, but I don't know how.
Standing in front of the closet door. We'll get it on
Yes.
here. standing in front, we'll put it in the comments one day. We can get it on here. Standing in front of the closet door at our mom's house, and our Uncle Phil's this bright light on us, and our hair is casting this like it looks like towers are behind us. But and even with you having straight hair and me having curly, your straight was like, oof,
Oh, I think I
and my
had my
curly
perm
was
then,
like,
didn't
oh
I?
yeah. Well, you used to use the hot rollers too to get that body
Yeah,
look
I
there. I
did.
remember
That's
you
true.
said it on the hot rollers.
I had so much more
But
hair then.
man, I love that big 80s hair. I think there's a lot of styling product involved. There was a lot of Aquanet involved, Final Net, all those things. Aussie products. Again, anybody watching, the smell of those Aussie products. It's like ingrained in our brains. Um, and some of the hair trends, there was, punk was starting back then. Some of the fellas had spiked haircuts. You saw mohawk here and there. Um, the funny colors like now that we can get so easily, you used to have to make with Jello. So what you would do, some of the punk colors, you would take the packet of Jello and wet it and then apply it to your hair. Your hair had to generally be in the blonde phase because you probably have to bleach sections, but and it wouldn't last long, trust me. But some of those really funky colors before Manic
Wow.
Panic came, Manic Panic was probably the first incarnation of getting those cool colors. But yeah, those were done with packets of Jello. Anyway, 80s hair. Love it.
Yeah, you can't beat the 80s hair. Yeah.
Bigger and better, baby.
It for us straight-haired girls who ruled the 70s.
Yes.
It was now this time we had to work at it a little bit to
Yeah.
get the style.
Mhm.
I know my curly-haired girlfriends were like so happy when the 80s
Oh,
came
Joan
along.
was probably like,
Oh
bring it.
yeah, and she looked so beautiful then.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I always preferred her hair curly.
I think it's pretty on
She
her.
looked,
Yeah.
I mean, she had the perfect curly hair. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, for
and I'm
sure.
pretty sure she was happy when that time came.
Yeah. So that 80s hair, baby, that's my number one.
Yeah. Yes. The only other thing that I was going to, of course, bring up, and we might have even talked about it a little bit, were designer jeans.
Oh my gosh.
They were
Yeah.
everything.
Oh, and there were levels of designer jeans. So
Yes.
there was like Jordache and Chic, which yes is spelled like chic, but they say Chic.
That's, you're right.
Those you could afford. They were probably going to be at Kmart, maybe even, or at, a local department store. But then Calvin's, oh man, Brooke Shields, remember
Yes.
those ads? Nothing comes between me and my Calvin's.
And
Jordache was
Gitano, wasn't that another one?
Gitano
Gitano,
and
they were cheap.
Jordache were in that same
Yes.
kind
Yes.
of area.
Yeah. Girls clamor for Jordache jeans now because I
Yeah.
don't think they're made anymore. And
Yeah.
honestly, even though I joke about how hard it was to get on designer jeans because there was no stretch in those jeans back then. You were going to have to get them on because you wanted them to start out a little tight because they were all cotton. They were going to loosen up and you didn't want to look baggy
And
either.
you wore them more than one time, you guys. It's not gross to do. You had to.
Absolutely.
Because once you
Absolutely.
loosened them up just a little, you didn't want to get them tightened back
You
up.
knew pain was coming on the next try
Yeah,
on after you
yeah.
put them in the washing
I
machine.
was kind of little when the huge push for the designer jeans was big, so I didn't have to do it. But I do know I've heard of the laying on the bed, and some people put the coat hanger in the like zipper opening and pull.
Oh,
But
oh my
but
gosh.
yeah.
But
But
I
no,
can
they were
remember,
the
like,
rage.
I lived in a house with like three other girls. And when we would go out together, you would hear a lot at getting dressed time. You would hear a lot of,
And those were worn like with the like blousey blouses, right? Like you wore the
often,
jeans.
sometimes that little
Yeah.
ruffle blouse.
Yes.
Another trend that we did when we would be going out, we would often, this was probably in the early 80s, we would wear like a leotard, a
Yeah.
cami strap leotard with our jeans.
I
And
feel
that's
like
what we would,
that is back. You do still see kind of those foundational pieces. You can still do that art Leos. Yeah. because when you think about it, I mean, you're not retucking your shirt into jeans. That's tough. And most of the looks were tucked in
Yeah.
because you wanted that tag to show. And the
Yes.
pockets were oftentimes fancy little,
Yes, they were.
yeah,
With
Jordache had
different
fancy little
styles that,
pockets. Yeah,
you could say, "Look, I've got the newest style," or
yeah.
whatever.
And
But
there was really no such thing as flare leg straight leg. These were straight.
these were fitting your body. Like,
Hmm.
it would almost, when you first got them on, it would be your exact body shape. Now they would loosen up a little bit, and then, you'd be a little, maybe a little bit baggy, but
Yeah,
um
yeah,
it was hell at the clubs when you had to go to the bathroom, though, if you had those
oh,
leotards on.
yeah. That's true. That is very
it
true.
was it was tough.
Yeah, that is very true. The only other 80s look that I think that, well, not only other, but we talked about this when we were talking about the dramas, is that whole Miami Vice thing. I feel like it brought
Yeah.
about a very, very specific look for the guys. The pastel shirts, the lighter suits, the baggier suit pants with the over jacket, and those little loafers minus the socks.
Yeah,
Not many people could pull that off. I mean, Don Johnson's at home like, you know,
exactly.
but at the same time, a lot of people tried it.
Yes, they did. I wrote down one men's thing because I always feel bad we leave out the men. But remember members only jacket?
Oh yeah, yeah,
That was
I
the
do.
80's, right?
That was the 80s,
That was like
yeah.
didn't Magnum, Tom
Yes.
Selleck wear
And
members
they would
only?
wear them almost like a suit jacket because they would push the sleeves up, leave
Yeah.
it unzipped, and the top had like almost like a little Nehru jacket snap, but you always left it open. Right?
Yes.
And they did it
Yes.
sort of like a suit. And that was another trend with both the ladies and the men. The suit jacket had the sleeves do this, the actual suit jacket, and then you push them
Yes.
up, right?
I
And a
had
lot of
many of
times
them.
this had a different pattern.
A different color, a different,
Yeah,
yeah, for sure.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So as structured as they were, the sleeves were kind of pushed
Yes.
up.
Yes. And a lot of times we would wear those suit jackets also with our leotard and our jeans.
Right,
So,
right.
that almost gives like sounds like a preppy look, but that
It
was,
isn't it? It's just a thing. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And oh, and then another side note, now that we're making honorable mentions, do you remember on the hair front, the banana clips?
Yes.
Literally put it under this way and snapped it at the top. And it was like two combs that came together. And it pulled
Yes.
your hair back in sort of a pony, but it left you almost with like a mohawk of curls in a
It
way.
did.
The
It
sides
did.
still showed, but it kept that full look that the 80s always had.
There was one bad thing about them.
What?
If you drove while you were wearing them and you like hit your brake at all and your head went back
Oh, it
on
hurt
the
like heck. Yeah. It's like little teeth going into your
yes,
back.
yes.
Hmm. Hmm.
What other hair accessory was really big? And I admit that I wore them periodically, was those great big bows that you would snap
Oh,
in.
yes. It went with those gunny sack dresses.
Yeah.
They were on a clip barrette, and the clip is a specific sound. It's like a real clip
Yeah.
because you were
Snap.
clipping your
Yeah.
whole hair
You were putting all
and
your
you
hair,
went
like making a
clip.
ponytail with it,
Yeah. And people
basically.
clipped them up here or down here, and they were big bows. Yes,
And a
you're
lot of
right.
people had too much hair for that, so they'd put it in a ponytail, and then you'd kinda just
Do
put
the
it
clip
a
up
little bit
top.
above the
Mhm.
ponytail.
And of course, scrunchies, but they're still around
Oh,
today.
yeah.
That's something that the 80s,
These will always be there.
yeah, the scrunchies for
I've
sure.
never been able to give up my scrunchie.
I was gonna say that's just common sense, I feel like.
Yes, it's a
Oh,
given.
here's one, Di. Do you remember jellies? Their little
Yes!
shoes. Yeah,
Those little
their little
shoes,
shoes. They
yeah.
look awful, you guys. They look almost like swim shoes. You know, like when you go to the beach, you get those little swim shoes. I don't even know how to express them. They're like, if you could picture, I think they're called huaraches. They're like those
Yeah,
little woven sandals, but made out of
had
plastic.
those, yeah.
And they were in, of course, fluorescent colors, which I don't think we touched on, but that was big when I was in junior highs, those fluorescent colors. The
Yes,
green, the orange, the yellow, and the hot pink, but glow in the dark. Um, those little jellies shoes. I remember
yes.
mom did
Remember
like
them
that
well.
trend because they were real cheap. They were
They
like
were
at
real
every
cheap.
store.
and probably not super comfortable at first, you
Not
know?
great for your
I
feet.
feel like my older daughter had a pair of them when she was
Yeah.
real little,
Yeah. I
and
think
her
they were
little
around
toe
for a
would
minute.
go through like
Yeah. 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 They were around for a while. They sure were, but
Yeah.
jellies. Yeah. Little plastic shoes. And those Candies high heels that were
Oh my
plastic.
god.
Remember, those were plastic high heels essentially.
That's another thing we used to wear to the clubs, usually with the leotard, but a skirt. Where
Mm-hmm.
like the popular thing was those floral little cotton skirts that were
Yep.
relatively straight, and then the candy shoes.
Yep.
We would wear those to the clubs too.
Yep. And even the jewelry was more of the color block. The earrings were
Yes.
big. And if you had a bracelet or a necklace, it was usually big, big things, like very
Those
much.
button earrings, like they were like
Yes.
the actual buttons.
Yes. Yes. Again, see designing women
Yes.
or Dynasty or Hunter, because Sergeant Dee Dee McCall ran around in all this stuff.
She had that beautiful makeup on too, didn't she?
Yes, and that head of curls. She had that perm. It was only
Yeah.
here, but perming.
Yeah,
Perm
perm central.
on, yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh. And running through the streets after some bad guys. Yeah.
As
But
wild as it all was, I'd go back at least for a little while.
I would too. I would
Totally
too.
would, especially if I had that body again.
Yeah.
Not just for looks, for health.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I don't know. I feel like this might age me, but I feel like times were good.
Yeah, me too.
Times were good. Maybe they weren't behind the scenes, but they sure did seem to be.
Yeah, I
Things
mean,
were,
for our age, even though I'm older, I think for both of us, it was a time where things were really good and fun and
yeah, yeah,
exciting.
big and colorful, and yeah, it's cool. Yeah, this is better for an 80's hair thing, but even the look of, all those hair metal bands, and there's just so many trends in the 80's with fashion.
Yes, for
Yeah.
sure.
I remember my first inkling of wanting to be a redhead was Tawny Katane in those White Snake videos.
Oh yeah.
She's that big mane of red hair, and I was like, that seems like a reasonable thing. It really does. Oh my gosh. All right. We love the 80's as the saying goes. Was that a
Love the
VH1
80s.
thing? Yeah, we love the 80's. Oh my gosh. Yes. Back when MTV played videos and
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
got some of
Who
our
it was
fashion
intended
ideas.
for.
Yes, can you imagine? Go figure. Oh my gosh. So, you guys, as always, share your top five 80's trends, fashion, style, or things you wore in the 80's that you're like,
Yeah.
why did we wear these? It could be that. But yeah, share your top five 80's trends. As always, we want to hear, or do you remember some of the things we were talking about? And did you do them as well? And as
And
always,
maybe even put pictures in our comments. I don't know. Can you do that?
yeah, you can. You can. I feel like if we can find that picture, we'll stick it in our comments. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. If you've saved any of your fun 80s things,
Mhm.
send us a pic.
Definitely. And as always, subscribe, like, follow, get 10 of your friends to follow because we're just having a blast here. We want all of you guys to join in and hop in the Wayback Machine. There's room for everybody. So we'll see you next time. This was fun. And what's on tap for next time? We're not going to tell, but
We got some good stuff
we
coming
have
up.
some good
So
stuff
keep with
coming
us,
up.
guys.
Yeah,
Keep with
stay with
us.
us. All right. Bye, everybody. Until next
Bye-bye.
time. Thanks for joining us.